gummy worms, because I definitely can't eat that many that quickly, but I'll try. My name is Jacqueline Yu, and tonight I want to talk to you guys about Instagram, and specifically how you can alter your content so that you can get more likes, because who doesn't like getting more likes? But I also think that Instagram is a great platform where you and your followers can share ideas and knowledge that will help all of us grow as professionals. So first, let's talk a little bit about me. I am a senior here at the University of Alabama. I'm from Houston, Texas, and my major is in marketing. I have a minor in Chinese and a specialization in sales. Like Joe said, I am the coordinator for digital outreach in the sales program, where I get to manage all of the social media content that goes out to students to help them get jobs. My interest in social media marketing really began about 2 years ago when I was interning in Shanghai. I got to work for an ad agency that does all of the marketing for Ford in Asia Pacific. My project specifically revolved around doing research about how Ford could improve its social media strategies on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook in Australia, India, and Thailand. So yeah, Instagram's really cool. But why is it super cool? Instagram is currently the fastest growing social media platform in the country and in the world. It's growing at a rate of about 50%. Last year alone, it added 100 million active users to its active user base. Since Instagram was created, over 30 billion photos have been posted to the platform, and those photos are liked about 2.5 billion times a day. Instagram also has a growing ad business. By the end of the year, it's projected to earn over $600 million in revenue. So basically, a lot of people are using Instagram, and a lot of other people are paying Instagram so that this keeps on happening. Now let's do a little activity. Imagine that you're scrolling through your Instagram feed, and you see these two pictures, one on top of the other, and basically, you can only like one of them. Raise your hand if you would like the first one. Now raise your hand if you'd like the second one. Okay, so obviously you all like the second one a lot more. And it turns out my followers would agree with you. The first picture was posted about a year ago when I was still starting out in Shanghai. I didn't really know much about social media yet. And the second one was posted about a year later at the end of my internship this past summer in Arkansas. As you can see, the second one got a lot more likes. But why is getting likes important? Likes aren't just a number that measure how great you are, or how great your experiences are, or how great your picture was. They are, to me, a metric that shows how many people saw your picture, engaged with that idea, and heard what you have to say. Everyone in this room has something important to say, and getting more likes on Instagram can help get what your ideas are heard more by your followers. So how can you do that to get more likes? First thing is to tell a story. I think telling a story gives your picture something more than just being a square set of a ton of pixels. It kind of gets people to understand where you're coming from, understand who you are. In this picture, the CEO of Sam's Club complimented my shoes, and I thought that was pretty cool. So another important thing is to show your face. It gives people something that's more familiar in your picture, especially if your followers or your friends. They can better understand who you are and empathize with your experiences. Next, no filter is better than any filter. This might surprise a lot of you, but time and time again, research has been done that shows no filter gets way more likes than any picture that has one of Instagram's standard filters. Now, this isn't to say that you can't edit your photos. I like to use the little wrench icon on Instagram to do 3 things to edit my pictures. I make them brighter, I make the colors warmer, and I also make the subject stand out a little bit more. There's a feature called Tilt Shift, I'm sure you all know about it, that makes the background a little bit more blurry. But this third point also has to do with the way you compose your picture when you take it and when you crop it. Time of day is important. Now this depends largely on who your followers are. For me, I find the times of day that are most successful are at 2 p.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. This is mostly because, like all of us, most of my followers are college students. And this is when we're getting out of class, this is when we're getting food, this is when we're getting tired of doing homework and want to check Instagram. So that just depends on who your followers are. It's also important to post frequently. You need to make it clear that you're still on Instagram and remind your followers that you're there and that they like the pictures that you post. And finally, interact with other followers and other people and other brands on Instagram. This past summer, I actually developed a sort of Instagram relationship with one of the museums in Arkansas. It was cool. I got to like their pictures, they liked my pictures, and I actually eventually got featured on their Instagram feed at one point. This was really cool because it was a perfect example of sharing ideas and content on Instagram. I would learn about what new exhibits were coming, what cool features were showing at the museum, and they got to see the museum through the eyes and through the perspectives of one of the visitors. So, sharing ideas on Instagram is cool, and it's definitely very feasible, not just with big brands or museums or companies, but also with your friends and your followers. So what are some cool ideas that we can find on Instagram? NASA. How cool is it that if you follow this account, you can be scrolling through, seeing your friends, seeing what's going on in their daily lives, but also seeing a picture of a galaxy more than 35 million light years away. And talk about no filter, because this was taken by the Hubble telescope, so it kind of doesn't really need one. This is from the Burberry fashion show this spring. So on top of being able to see cool pictures of galaxies and pictures of your friends, you're able to stay on top of upcoming trends and innovations in industries that are important to you. This is from Google. I chose this picture because it kind of showcases their company culture, where you get to see that someone who works at Google is smart, but they also have fun and have a great work-life balance. It's great to follow the companies that we want to work for, and who wouldn't want to work for Google. And finally, this is a picture of fried bread with melted chocolate and salt on it. Don't knock it until you try it. It's actually really delicious. For me, I'm really interested in cooking and finding really easy, accessible recipes. And this one is a really great one to try out if you haven't yet. There are also lots of other interest accounts on Facebook out there, whether your interests are in music, entertainment, fashion, whatever it may be. I just said Facebook, I meant Instagram. Sorry. So yeah, those were a lot of cool ideas, or 4 of them, but what do we do with these cool ideas? The first thing I have on here is go to cocktail parties. Imagine when you're like making small talk, talking about the weather, like, how are the Yankees doing? What if you, instead of saying that, you said, look at this picture of a galaxy more than 35 million light years away? What about growing your interests? You know, like I said, the fried bread with chocolate, that was something I would have never thought to do, but after going on Instagram, now I do it all the time. It's delicious. You should definitely try it. Be an early adopter. Like I was talking about with the fashion shows, being able to see what kind of new things are coming up in industries that interest you, and being able to take advantage of them and know about them before other people do. I also have get a job on here. That's definitely something that would give you an advantage over other people looking to work at another company. I think it would be very impressive if you sat down in an interview and told an interviewer, hey, I really love what your company is doing in X, Y, and Z. I saw it on your Instagram. I don't think a lot of people are doing that in interviews right now. And finally, just brand yourself. Take all of these accounts that you follow, all of these cool content, all of these new innovations that you're seeing on Instagram, and learn about yourself, learn about what you're interested in, and learn how to communicate that as your entire personality. So that's all I have for you today. Hopefully now you know a little bit more about how to get more likes, but also you're really excited to learn more ideas and understand more about what's happening on Instagram and in the industries that interest you. I obviously put my username up on here, so it'd be really cool if you guys could follow me. And I also want to take a picture of it all for my Instagram, if that's okay. You guys are just getting photographed so much tonight. Yeah, you don't have to talk or anything, but 1, 2, 3. And yeah, when you go follow me, you can go like this picture. Oh, wait, okay, yeah, let's make it a selfie.